Hello and welcome to Plus Sports on Plus TV Africa. It's Wednesday and you have me with you to guide you on the journey of all the sports news from around the world. My name is Mikhail Tinubu. I am joined today by Victor Godfrey all the way from Cameroon. He's having a blast. It's less work and more vacation. Victor.
Okay, good morning. I don't understand. I'm traveling in about 30 minutes. So there's been really crazy, lots of traveling here in Cameroon. So yeah, there's been work all through as well. So.
It sounds really tough, I understand. So obviously Cameroon and Egypt are facing off tomorrow for their semi-final clash. What is the atmosphere like over there? What's the expectations? What does everyone thinking the results are going to look like?
Okay, so because Cameroon actually had their best performance against Gambia in the quarterfinals, that was the best they've actually played on the pitch. The expectations have gone through the roof. Everyone believes that they're going to win the competition now. However, a few are a bit nervous because they are well bred that are the North Africans in terms of the heroes of Egypt. But I can assure you one thing, though we had a very unfortunate incident that happened a few weeks back with the death of people at Colombia, 8 individuals lost their lives. However, the fans here in Cameroon are really high spirits. They feel like their team can actually win it. Some have even said that if they win this semi-final fixtures, it's as good as just giving them the trophy right then and then because they're going to win the final. That's what some of them are saying. But the expectations are very, very high. People are incredibly excited. I can imagine by tomorrow when the match takes place, you will start hearing vuvuzelas. Everybody will have their flags out in their shops or in their cars. You have people wearing the jerseys. It's going to be quite incredible at the Olympic tomorrow, Yaoundé tomorrow. So, but I'm sure that the fans are really excited. I think they feel they can win the competition.
Well,
that's just how it is.
We've seen just how well both teams can play in the semi-finals. If the Cameroonians are feeling lucky, feeling a little more certain about their chances of winning the competition, what are the Egyptians feeling?
So I think Egypt has the X factor, and that X factor is called Mohamed Salah. Minus the fact that they have one of the most experienced tacticians in the history of football. I mean, this man was an assistant manager for Manchester United back in a time when they had one of the most successful eras in football. He was one of the guys that nurtured a young Cristiano Ronaldo at Manchester United, that's Carlos Spurs. And his experience has been at the World Cup. He has coached in Portugal, he has coached many teams. He has also had his own fair share in terms of club football. So they have that experience on the bench. And then with the fact that Mo Salah is not just in fine form, by the way, he's also inspired. He's hungry to win something for his national team. He wants to do what top players have done in the past, achieve greatness with your national team. I mean, Messi just did that last year. Ronaldo did that in 2016. So Mo Salah is actually very hungry. And that's why I feel like the Cameroonians need to be worried, because the truth of the matter is that Cameroon haven't actually faced a tough team so far in this competition. If you look at all their matches, the toughest test they had was the opening match against Burkina Faso, but having very, very favorable draws and favorable opponents, this is the first real test for Cameroon. So I'm sure Egyptians are hungry to win it. Yeah.
So personally, where are you placing your bet?
Okay, so I have two views. Number one is good for business. The other one is not so good for business. The business part is I want Cameroon to even win the competition so that my job here in Cameroon will be a lot easy in terms of interacting with the fans. But the reality of the matter is that I won't call it an upset because Egypt is not a small team.
Yes.
I actually feel that Egypt will beat Cameroon because, to be honest, I won't lie to you, Cameroon haven't been impressive apart from the second half against Ethiopia and their last game against Gambia. They haven't impressed me at all. I mean, they struggled against Comoros Islands. That kind of thing. So,
well, we've seen in the past where a team that isn't quite as strong, plays a lot of disruptive football, can come into the game against a much more tactically organized team and force them to play their game, force them to play on their rhythm. Can Cameroon do that, or is it more likely that they will be overwhelmed?
So you need to be here in Cameroon to actually experience it. I don't think it's the game plan. Honestly, I'm not disrespect to the technical team of the Cameroonian national team, to the Indomitable Lions, all respect to the men that work and come up with a game plan. Truth be told, when Cameroon play, you don't feel like they have a game plan. It's just, I feel like they are playing to the crowd because the the support is incredible. If they play a long ball, I mean, if a player controls it very well, the whole crowd goes, oh! You know, so I feel that kind of fuels them. It's not really because they are playing good, disciplined football. It's just the crowd. Egypt did something that I didn't think was possible. They made Morocco look like an ordinary team.
Wow.
I watched that game in Yaoundé and I was like, wow. I had more respect now for the Super Eagles because we made Egypt look like an ordinary team. And the way they played, so far so good. Morocco, in my own opinion, have been some of the best football so far in the competition. And they made them look so ordinary. Morocco didn't really do much. And, you know, that's why they started going down by a goal. They still came back and won that match. So, I'm saying this. I feel there might be a victory for Egypt tomorrow. It might not be good for the tournament, you know, from my own point of view, because I want to have happy fans around me when I'm doing my interviews. But I feel like that's the case.
All right.
Make them play their own way. Yeah.
One last question on this: if Egypt get to the final, can either Burkina Faso or Senegal upset them? Even though Senegal are the top-rated team in the continent.
I agree with that sentiment. The truth of the matter is, I feel like this semi-final between Cameroon and Egypt is the one that will determine the winner. That's where the winner is going to come from of this tournament. We've seen this in the last World Cup in 2018. You had Croatia against England, and of course you had France against Belgium. And we all knew that whoever won that France-Belgium game was going to win the World Cup, and that was the case. Same with this one. Forget the rankings. I know rankings are there for a reason. Sometimes you see some rankings like, how is this team above the other team? But we have what they call football heritage, and Egypt and Cameroon have what they call football heritage. I mean, they have 12 titles between them. Egypt has won it 7 times. Cameroon has won it 5 times. You cannot beat that. So forget Burkina Faso and Senegal. With respect to Senegal, they have the best goalkeeper in the world in Mendy. They have Sadio Mane. They have Koulibaly. Trust me, the winner of this competition comes from the semi-final between Egypt and Cameroon. So whatever happens between Burkina Faso and Senegal, to me, doesn't really matter, because I feel Egypt and Cameroon might just win this competition.
All right. There's a lot of African news, African Cup of Nations news going forward. But let's move to the world stage now, where Colombia are on the brink of missing out on Qatar 2022 qualification following a 1-0 defeat to Argentina in Cordoba. The result leaves Colombia 5 points off Uruguay in the 4th automatic qualification spot with 2 games to play. Ronaldo Rueda's side are also 4 points adrift of Peru, who occupy 5th, which involves an intercontinental playoff. Colombia last failed to qualify for a World Cup in 2010, having reached the knockout stage in the last 2 editions. Meanwhile, Argentina, who have already qualified for the World Cup, are now 29 games unbeaten. You know, Victor, in instances like these, when a team is already so far ahead, already qualified, I'm like, why don't you just let the other team, win? After all, they're struggling.
It doesn't work that way, unfortunately. You know, in South America, they are very passionate about football, and as I would say, almost every football match in South America is a derby. And Colombia, Argentina, Paraguay, Uruguay, Brazil, Venezuela, Bolivia, all these teams want to always have the bragging rights. So no, it won't be any easy for anybody in the South American qualification process.
Well, please go on. Okay,
so to add to the woes of Colombia, I feel this has been a long time coming. If you really follow the national team, in 2014 they had a breakout performance. Nobody gave them a chance. That's Colombia, and this has come after years of them coming pretty close. I mean, we saw them in 1990 against Cameroon. They lost out in that round of 16 game. We saw them in 94. Unfortunate case of Escobar scoring an own goal and of course dying back in his hometown. We saw them in 98. So they've had those close calls. They've had some great players also in the past. Unfortunately, they haven't gotten to that point you expect. But in 2014, James Rodriguez and the rest of them did so well. 2018, they also had a decent performance. But Colombian football has actually gone down because they have lacked what we are lacking here in Nigeria: structure and organization, and also trying to be the next generation of superstars.
Nigeria is actually...
This happening to them now is not news to me. I'm not surprised that that's happening to them.
In Nigeria's football structure, as much as we complain about it, is better off than Colombia, is what you're saying.
It's hard to say. I'll say no. I don't think so because the Colombians have a very, very good national league. Again, all due respect to the Nigerian Professional Football League, the Colombians have a better league.
Well, Lautaro just continues to impress. The fact is, there is no one competing with him for that number 9 position with the Argentinian team.
For now, however, the new signing that Man City had, I think it was Gonzalez from River Plate, that Man City just signed during this January transfer window. Though he's back on loan with River Plate, he will join Man City at the end of the season. It may just be the next big star in terms of being like that next level of Aguero. And you have to understand that right now, to be honest, we don't really have pure strikers anymore in the world of football. I mean, you look at Argentina in the past, you had the likes of, from Mario Kempes in the 70s. You had Kempes. You had, Gabriel Batistuta, Hernan Crespo. You had Palermo. You had some solid, proper number 9 strikers back in the day for Argentina. Right now, you have false nines and wingers and forwards like Messi, Lautaro Martinez, Di Maria, and so on and so forth. So I think Gonzalez may just be the next big star that might just be the new Argentine number 9. But let's wait and see. He's
All right.
young and
On to the other qualifier in South America. Brazil cruised to a 4-0 win over Paraguay on Tuesday to continue their unbeaten record in World Cup qualifying. The Selacos led 1-0 at halftime following a Rafinha strike before adding 3 more after the interval, including a wonder strike from Philippe Coutinho. The result means Paraguay have been eliminated mathematically from qualifying for Qatar 2022, having last featured at a World Cup in 2010. Completely overwhelmed Paraguay were, and even Dani Alves got to play. Philippe Coutinho seems to be, finding his footing. At least he seems to have a chance at showing what he's got in the Brazil national team. Victor, I wonder, Philippe Coutinho was known for goals like that at Liverpool. If he makes a success of the Aston Villa surgeon, will he stay in the Premier League?
That is a very tricky question. I think the answer to that might be just
Victor? It seems we're having a little issue with Victor's audio. Let's move on to the Beijing 2022 Winter Olympics, which kicked off the torch relay on Wednesday, February 2nd, during which more than 1,000 torchbearers will carry the flame past historical landmarks, including the Great Wall. The 3-day relay began with a launch ceremony at the Olympic Forest Park in the Chinese capital under clear blue skies. The torch will then make its way past the Summer Palace and Badaling section of the Great Wall in the north of Beijing. The flame was lit in Greece in October last year before being flown to Beijing. Due to COVID-19, the scale of the relay is modest compared with the 130-day, 137-kilometer odyssey ahead of the 2008 Beijing Olympic Summer Games. The relay will end on Friday, February 4th, when the last torchbearers light the Olympic cauldron at the Bird's Nest Stadium, where the 2008 opening ceremony was also held. Victor, let's quickly wrap up on the Philippe Coutinho question.
Yeah. Sorry, the network is a bit crazy here sometimes.
No worries.
So just to add to that, I think Coutinho may stay in the Premier League. He may stay in the Premier League if he has a great time, but I feel he'll have a good time at Aston Villa because of the relationship he had with Gerrard when they were both players, when they were both teammates at Liverpool. And to add to a bigger picture for Brazil, I think this is becoming a cycle that I'm no longer fond of. Ever since 2002 when they won the World Cup last, Brazil have always had this fantastic qualifying campaign that increases the hype, and everybody thinks, okay, Brazil may just win it again. And then when they get to the World Cup, they most likely underperform.
They don't really have any big name players other than Neymar. Neymar is about 29 now, has never truly led any team he has been in to a trophy by himself. He has never carried the team by himself. What chances do they have?
Okay, well, to give Neymar a bit of credit, or let's say a bit of respect, he actually won the Olympic gold medal in 2016 in Brazil, Rio Olympics. So that's one thing. At least he has one trophy.
Sure.
He has won the Champions League with Barcelona as well. He won the Brazilian League with Santos many times when he was in Brazil. But to add to that stuff, I strongly believe that Brazil may not have a marquee superstar, which I feel is a good thing, because that has been one of the biggest issues with Brazil in the past. They either had a Pele or a Ronaldo or a Ronaldinho or a Romario or a Pepe. They always had one big superstar that the pressure was always on his shoulders. Luckily for them, those players perform. But with this current crop of Brazilian players, Neymar might even be on the bench. You have Richarlison at Everton. You have the young man at Real Madrid playing fantastically well right now. You have Rodrigo. You have quite a few young forwards that even Gabriel Jesus at Man City, who I feel is not a top level striker, but he's a good forward. He's decent enough. So Brazil have a very good forward line they can choose from, but you feel that they will need to be humble, because that way they can now play as a team and then achieve greatness. But if they depend on Neymar solely at the World Cup, we've seen that Neymar unfortunately haven't been able to get to that hype when it comes to the World Cup. So yeah, I agree with that sentiment.
Well, thank you for joining me today. Thank you for joining us, Victor. Always a pleasure having you.
Same here.
I know you have a trip to Yaoundé.
Yes.
So
I have to go now.
please have a wonderful trip, and we'll talk to you very soon.
Thank you very much, Mukai. Have a wonderful day. Bye for now.
Bye. Now, fans of snowboarding and freestyle skiing can expect a spectacular backdrop as the slopestyle competitions get underway at the Beijing Games on a course inspired by Chinese culture and featuring a replica of the famous Great Wall. The course is at the Zhangjiakou Getting Snow Park, with International Ski Federation (FIS) describing it as arguably the most technically advanced, thoughtfully designed, and awe-inspiring slopestyle course ever constructed. Slopestyle courses are usually designed with a set of rails at the top and 3 jumps towards the bottom for the athletes to perform breathtaking flips and spins after gathering momentum. Athletes have already expressed their admiration for the eye-catching design. The course is pretty amazing. There's an amazing piece of snow artwork of the Great Wall. I've never seen anything like it. They really outdid themselves, said New Zealand snowboarder and Pyeongchang Big Air bronze medalist Zhao Sadowski-Sinot. It will be a truly breathtaking sight to behold when the Beijing 2022 games start. I'm sure a lot of you are looking forward to it. I know we don't contribute to winter games, but it's still a spectacular games and set of events. So don't forget to catch it. I am Mikhail Tinubu, and as always, we enjoy having you on Plus Sports on Plus TV Africa. If you need a little bit of extra with your sports analysis, this is where to be. Join us next time. Remember, life is never boring with some sports. Have a wonderful day.